Hi, my name is Tom Hawes. I'm the Managing Chair for C12 North Texas. We recently completed about 16 executive roundtables in the DFW area. And in any particular meeting we discuss lots of topics, but we have a focal business topic, and this month the topic was diversity. And diversity is kind of a hot topic because some people are very sensitive about diversity because they've been a victim of some level of intolerance or discrimination in the past. Others are sensitive about it because there seems to be a political correctness to diversity, where there are arbitrary numbers of this type or that type of person. So it was a hot topic. We approached it from two perspectives in our meetings. The first, as we often do, is looking at the biblical basis for this issue. And what we find in the New Testament are many examples of diversity. Men and women are featured prominently. Different races, different cultures, people with different gifting, different functional responsibilities, and so on. So the Bible speaks clearly about a Christian's obligation to engage in diversity. The second perspective was, and this appeals to our members very much, is what are the practical dimensions of diversity? How does it help a business? And so we looked at 5 practical suggestions, and I started with this question of my members. Would you prefer that every person in your company was just like you? Now that's an easy question, and they saw it as such, and they promptly answered, well, of course not. We want differences. Differences are valuable. And so when you speak of diversity, the first step is to get a good definition. What is valuable diversity? And so when challenged by that, the members came up with lots of examples. Age diversity is important. Educational background diversity is important. Gender diversity, racial diversity, cultural diversity. All of these things add value to a business because they enable you to tap into the latent talents of different people, and they allow you to identify with prospective employees, current employees, and of course with your customers, who generally speaking are a very diverse lot. So get a definition of valuable diversity first. The second thing we talked about, now using that definition with the dimensions you've identified, survey your current population of employees and find out exactly how diverse you are. It may be that you're already very diverse, or it may be that you have some gaps to address. The third thought that we have, and we always approach it from a leadership perspective, is what is the leader's personal biases with respect to diversity? Now, a lot of times these biases are unintentional. There's no particular bad thought about them. But when they're unidentified, it just means that they get perpetuated. So how do you do that? And we talked about asking those people who are around you to identify any particular biases that you might unconsciously have. And then secondly, of course, the results of your survey tell you the progress you've made in diversity. And that might be an indicator that there's some biases that exist that need to be addressed. So the fourth thing, which is very similar, we talked about institutional biases. And companies speak a lot about themselves through their documents, through their policies, through their websites. And we gave an example of one company that had unconsciously, with no ill intent, on their website depicted a very homogeneous set of images. Looked very similar. And it really didn't reflect the heart of the organization, nor did it reflect their current population. But it's a small thing to pay attention to that sends signals to those that are encountering your company. And then the fifth thing in this sort of practical sequence is to decide what diversity you want and then commit to a long-term plan. There aren't easy and quick solutions oftentimes, but a sustained program focusing on the right kind of diversity for your company that's biblically correct for Christian-led companies will lead to sustained value and differentiation for you. So we talked about that. We talked about a whole bunch more in our meetings, and we'll talk about a lot in our upcoming February meetings. I hope you're having a great day.